G'day guys and welcome back to Jans_Gaming for another Dokkan Battle video. So for today's video we're going to be running through the details of the physical topo. Obviously got announced officially on Twitter yesterday, and it will be dropping later on. So as you will run through his kit and then have a look at his banner too. So for Topo, his leader skill is special pose tournament participants 3 key 170. Pretty good leader skill, if I'm being honest. There, he gets the additional 30% for Defenders of Justice, Space Traveling Warriors, or Final Trump card units. So fills out pretty well there, especially with a lot of the other special pose style of team builds. For his super attack effect, greatly raises attack and defense for one turn, so 50% attack and defense there, which is really, really good. And this is what we love to see. So Topo does have an entrance animation which activates when you've got two or more special pose or defenders of justice category allies on the team. And when that one does pop, he reduces damage received by 11% for the rest of battle. So sick ability there. Just guaranteed extra damage reduction. And then he also guards all attacks for 3 turns. So you combine damage reduction guard, really effective sort of model there. In terms of flat stats, you can see we've got the 200% attack and defense right there. Gets an additional 150% when performing a super attack. He then reduces damage received by 20%, which is going to obviously combine with that initial 11%, so that goes up to 31%, sorry. Changes into key spheres to rainbow key spheres if HP is 50% or more at the start of turn. So he is a rainbow orb changer. As you know, when you're rocking with these very LR heavy teams, especially like tournament participants, is rainbow orb changes are super impactful. He is also a support unit. So special pose and defenders of justice category allies get the 1 key 30% attack and defense, which is perfect. Like you look at the Universe 11 units that you'd be running this guy with, it's like the Tech Jiren, the AGL Jiren when he drops. Anytime we're able to get extra support to those LRs, it's going to be really valuable. But this is the extra valuable bit with Topo. So he gets an additional 200% defense, guards all attacks, and within the same turn, defense plus 50% after receiving an attack as the first attacker. So this guy is really valuable as a slot 1 unit. So combine that damage reduction with the extra defense that you get from the stats here. You got guard, and I'm sure that doesn't surprise you that this guy is going to be able to have some really, really good defensive stats while rainbow orb changing and supporting. So he does a little bit of everything. He gets an additional 100% attack and defense with performing a super as the second or third attacker in the turn. So still value if you didn't want to run him in rotation, on rotation in that regard. So for his active skill to transform, that can be popped starting from the 4th turn when there is another special pose or defenders of justice category ally attacking in the same turn, or if you got neither of those, it is 6 turns. So at least that's going to be a really consistent condition to be able to pop. We've got the links and then a bunch of teams here. So he's a Super Bosses unit as well, which is a team that's been getting a ton of buffs, but probably Universal Survival Saga. I guess he's on Transformation Boost as well. A few really prominent teams there. But you are going to want to make sure you're able to get some special pose and Defenders of Justice units on the team as well. So when you transform, you go into God Topo. Obviously, leader skill stays the same. For his super attack effect, now he massively raises attack, which is 100%, and then raises defense by 30% for 1 turn. His stats get even bigger here, so you can see we get key 3 and then 300% attack and defense just start of turn. Gains an additional 250% when attacking, and then an additional 100% defense when receiving an attack. It still changes into key spheres to rainbow key spheres, so the fact that he maintains that rainbow orb changing is really, really valuable. There's nothing like, it's a bit annoying when you do have one of your floating supports or orb changes and then they transform and you lose that ability to orb change or support. He continues to guard all attacks, reduces damage received by 80% for that first hit, pretty much. So what happens with Toppo is as you get hit, you lose 8% damage reduction. That does go down until you hit that 20% mark. Um, yeah, he also nullifies Ki Blast super attacks directed at him. Um, so guaranteed for the first turn, and then it is a high chance from there on out. So high chance is 50% on. So yeah, if you're copying one like a boss that just does the old Kamehameha, that one's getting obliterated by Toppo straight off the bat. So we love that. For he's then also got an active skill. He massively raises attack and causes ultimate damage, and then Toppo's crits Toppo's attacks become crit for the rest of the fight, which is pretty insane. Just guaranteed crits rest of the battle. So that can be activated starting from the 6th turn from the start of battle. Obviously, once over, your links do change a little bit. You get solid support and godly power there. So really, really good. It'll be interesting to see how a lot of people build this guy. I think I think I agree with Truth in regards to his hidden potential with this. You're going to want to maintain that damage reduction as much as possible. So I think a dodge build is going to be really, really effective with Toppo here. Um, in regards to his banner, so that's the photo, I guess, of what it was on JP. I'm not sure that they would change it on global and before worldwide download celebration. I think this is just a really, really easy skip here. So we do also have the banner unit, Catapesla, and I think on global it's Catapesra or something like that. We can have a quick look at him. He's Defenders of Justice 3 key 130. For his super attack effect, he raises attack and then greatly raises defense and seals enemy super. Real sort of a bit Broly, Chilo, and Lemo-esque with the all requirements in terms of his passive. We've got key 3, attack and defense 300%. Changes STR key spheres to AGL key spheres. Launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack. High chance of evading enemies' attack. And defense plus 30% per AGL key sphere obtained. So you can get up to 10 key spheres there to get the full nuke. And that is during the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th turn from this character's entry. Changes AGL key spheres to STR key spheres. That has a great chance of launching an additional super attack, great chance of performing a crit, and attack plus 30% per STR key sphere obtained, up to 300% again during the 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th, and 10th turn from his first entry. So, if you're on the odd numbers, you're getting more defense. Even numbers, you're getting the extra attack. Also gains an additional attack and defense 33% when performing a super. Changes AGL and STR key spheres to tech key spheres plus an additional 30% attack and defense per tech key sphere obtained starting from the 7th turn. So, yeah, I think that's probably just a bit too much for people to keep track of mid-event. And there's going to be nothing worse than when you're switched across to being forced to use that attack style term, because this guy's going to be way better when he is able to utilize his dodge there. But I guess it's another special pose unit that we do have available to us there. So yeah, we look at the rest of the banner. We got the Int 17 and 18. They've just been completely replaced on their own team, really. Their leader skill was what was keeping them alive. But yeah, we've just got Tech UI Goku now, so running them is just a risk that you don't really need to take. Tech Trunks, it's just probably not a unit you're going to use very often. The same goes for AGL Kale. And then you got the 2 Gammas there, who are at this point like a year and a half old, like slightly more than a year and a half old, which is pretty crazy. So there isn't a great deal of value on this banner, especially when we consider that in like 2 weeks' time we'll be going into worldwide download celebration, which will mean there's 4 LRs, 2 Dokkan Fest, 2 Carnivals more than likely on the horizon. So I definitely recommend saving your stones and giving this a skip, even though Toppo is extremely good and is going to be really, really valuable. But one of those units that I would probably recommend you do pick up with coins at a later stage. So let me know your thoughts on Toppo down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content, and hopefully I'll catch you all on the next video.